I'm gonna pull the fan up closer. Let me know if you could hear it in the microphone.
Sound cool to me.
Save it for recording. Proper Ebonics. Alan.
Hey, Kirk.
Meet again.
We're here. It's Proper Ebonics. Listen.
Ebonics, man. Proper Ebonics.
I'm glad to see you, man. I got something I want to share with you.
Yeah.
I found it to be, it's kind of on brand for us. Where is it?
Okay.
So here it is. So I know we talk about this a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where.
This is a lot of suspense. This is a lot of suspense. We haven't said like 3 sentences to each other, and I'm on the edge of my recliner right now. This is nuts.
I wanted to start with. I found a list online. I wanted to start just with. So I want to start with. Right? I found a list online of the corniest bars of 2022. It's 10.
Oh man, I don't like where this is going.
It's 10 bars, right? I'm not going to read all. I'm not going to read all the bars. That'll take too much time.
I'm worried about the one that you are going to read, though. I have a feeling.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just read the names of the people in the top 10 corniest bars real quick. Okay. Read the top 10 from 10 to from least corny to the corniest will be number one. Right. Number 1. 10. So let's do it. Kanye, Jack Harlow, 2 Chainz, Jack Harlow.
What?
Jack Harlow.
Damn.
MGK.
Oh, that's
Future.
Okay.
Your last 2. Jack Harlow.
Damn.
Jack Harlow.
Say it isn't so. Oh man. They're coming after my boy Harlow. I was listening to Harlow on the drive back from movie theater last night. I was on a Harlow kick. Man.
So you were listening to the corniest bars of the year.
I don't know. What I know you say you're not going to list all of them, but what was like number 1? Like, do they say like what the number 1 corniest bar was?
I know my grandpa would have a heart attack if I pulled $100,000 out, so I'm not going to pull
$100,000 out.
$100,000 out.
Yeah, hey, he's caring about his family, man. I don't know if that's. I know that bar, yeah, but I don't know if that's necessarily corny. It kind of goes to what you were talking about with the program line, which I don't know if that's on the list or not.
You already know that program line is on this list. It's right. It's number 9. It's
Damn.
number 9.
I don't know, man. It's not the craziest bar. I didn't lose my wig over it, but he's saying his grandfather would go crazy if he saw all that much money, sort of thing. And he's like, all right, well, I have it, but I'm not going to pull it out. But I can, though. That's the thing. I can. I'm just establishing that I care about my grandfather. I don't know, man. Like it's not the craziest line. It's not the craziest line. But shout out to Harlow.
Yo, when I seen this was yesterday. I was like, yo, I gotta save this. This is hilarious.
Oh goodness. MGK was on there.
MGK is on. MGK says,
"Oh, Machine Gun Kelly." Oh yeah, I was thinking of UGK.
Kelly.
Okay.
No. So Machine Gun Kelly says, "I'm a genius. Could have made Donda, but the song is for my dead father."
I'm not crazy about that. That's like I'm not crazy about that one. That could be number 1. I don't know why they had to let him play my boy Harlow that much. Put him on number 9, 7 through 5. Again, 2 through 1. Just have one line on there. Why not just admit that you're making an article where you're hating on Jack Harlow? Why you have to like mask it with throwing all these other artists in? Just have a thing where it's like, oh, we clearly don't like Jack Harlow. Man.
No, but you gotta admit, they're not just hating on Jack Harlow. They're just speaking facts at this point.
I don't know.
These bars, your boy said she a vegan, but she's still trying to eat your boy.
I can't defend that one. I can't defend that one too much. There's some lines are fillers. Some lines don't necessarily rhyme, sort of thing like that. But I was listening to some Harlow. Harlow has been over the last few months probably last year has become kind of like a Kanye and my staple of music of like there's times it's like man, I just want to listen to some Jack Harlow. Honestly, I think I listen to Jack Harlow more than I listen to Drake. If I if I had to break it down, and I'm sure the Spotify, whatever they do at the end of the year will break it down, I listen to Jack Harlow more than Drake. They're the same type of music, in my opinion. I just rock out Harlow more, I guess.
Okay. I mean, that's your vibes. I mean, I can't
get down with the program.
Listen, no, that bar is terrible. You need to get down with the. Where was it? At the shows, I'm about to start handing out programs because y'all need to get with the program. Who told him to keep rhyming these words? It's not even like good, like entendres. It's just like so bad. Like, why does he keep doing this?
You know, he's paying homage to. He's paying homage to Cassidy. I don't know if he's actually doing that, but Cassidy would do that all the time, where it's like he would have a whole verse where it's like the end of the line ends with just one word. The thing with him though is that the second line, the second to the last word, would be a rhyme. So it'd be like the second to last would be like the rhyme scheme, but he would end it with like boy, 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 which I always thought was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. So Jack Harlow's not doing that. He's not doing it well. Cassidy does it well.
You gotta get with the program, player. You gotta get with the program. One day, man, if you're gonna look back 30 years from now, you're gonna be thinking of the summer of 2022, and you're gonna hear what's popping. You'd be like, good memories and good feelings are gonna rise in your stomach. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. That summer was popping.
That's it, man. I'm not hating on your boy. The song he got with Lil Nas X, like that's my jam. Like
that's the one that you like. The industry baby.
Yo, that's my jam, dog. Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't listened to that full song. I know it exists. I haven't listened to the full thing, but I'll give it a shot.
That thing, I think what did it for me when I seen the video, like the song was hot, right? But I seen the video of them performing it, right? At some, not even them, it was just Jack Harlow performing it at some festival or something. It was crazy. And like the way that thing just hit, like, I was like, oh, it was like, bah, 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 bah. I was like, ooh. Damn. And then that joint go hard. You know what I'm saying? I can admit that. I'm not saying I'm hating on your boy. I'm just saying this list came online and I was like, yo, this is crazy. I got to share it with Kirk.
I don't know, man. Brought a whole list. Brought a whole list to it, but I guess that's a fair play in some ways, man. I was listening on the way back from Bryn Mawr Film Institute. I went to go see Nope, the new Jordan Peele movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Have you seen it at all, or you have any interest?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listeners, I won't spoil it. Don't worry, your boy won't do that to you. I could talk about it without spoiling anything. And like all things, I would suggest don't even watch the trailer because that may spoil some stuff. That's how non-spoiler I'm in. Don't watch a spoiler like the trailer. It was good. It was good. It was entertaining. Keke Palmer was in it, which I didn't realize. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise, and she kind of stole the show. Yeah. It was solid. I don't want to give much away. It's in the vein of more suspense than horror. And the acting is phenomenal, and the cinematography is really cool.
Where'd you check it out at?
Bryn Mawr Film Institute, which I got to recommend, which I'm sure has been a former proper suggestion. One of the coolest movie theaters. It's close to Philadelphia as well. They play a lot of major, limited, and local releases. And popcorn is $5.50 for large popcorn. I'm not. Come on. So and I did use my student discount. They don't check ID, but I did bring my student ID. So if they were to check that, I would let them know that I'm a student of life. So yeah, definitely recommend that. And without spoiling anything in the movie, I would say my overall tentative score 7.8 out of 10.
Is that good?
Yes. Yeah, for different facets. Like it's fun. It's definitely suspenseful. There's definitely moments where you're like, oh, what's going to happen there? I would say the biggest takeaway was fun. My biggest I don't want to say biggest criticism, but one of the criticisms for it was that there's lack of justification for some of the actions. And you get this a lot with like kind of horror suspense movies where like characters will do things. They're like these grand actions that's like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. And now you're putting yourself in danger for the sake of furthering the story and maybe adding some more suspense later on.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's ways to do that and still have justification. And this one felt like it lacked that at times. So that I found took me out of it for a lot of the moments. The main character's name was OJ, so that part was cool. So I got some more points for that. But yeah, overall, it was good.
I might have to check it out this week. I got time. I got time this week.
Yeah, any shows or anything like that? What are you up to?
Actually, you know what? I just got back from the beach. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So I was down in Delaware. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Chilling. You know what I mean? I like the beach, my guy. Like, I really like the beach.
You say it like I'd be surprised. Like, yeah, I believe it. Since I've known you, you've been taking like annual trips to the beach.
Yeah, I be out.
Yeah, what do you like about the beach as opposed to like lakes or cabins?
I like I'm not one of those guys that like hates on the Jersey Shore. Like, I'll make fun of the Jersey Shore, but like I low key likes, like, I can go get a funnel cake real quick off the boardwalk. I can, like, you know what I'm saying, just get in the water. I ain't gotta go out there deep, but I can have a little bit of fun, you know what I'm saying? I got my kids, you know what I'm saying, so they having fun. So, you know, I like, it sounds like the beach. You know what I mean?
It's Massenburg's having fun in the sun.
So that's what we did. So I just got back. So it's gonna be back to the grind. You know what I mean? I ain't got like, it's like a slow week for me. I ain't got much this week. It's a slow week for me.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing, man. I don't know how many people are coming out with for those that are listening this 20 years in the future right now. It's currently 130 degrees outside. I didn't check the weather in the last 10 minutes, so I don't know if there's been any updates since, but it is boiling. It is boiling temperature. I got in my car to get some breakfast earlier, and my shirt lifted up a little bit, and it touched the leather. Oof. And yeah, man, I think I may have a mark afterwards. Like, I couldn't touch the steering wheel. I had to like sit for a little bit and be like, I gotta like blast the air conditioner. So it's dangerous weather out right now. I don't know how many people are really like trying to go out to shows right now.
Bro, that's why I will never ever buy a car with leather seats. I will never do it.
Play like me, man. That's just how I rock out.
I don't know.
Used Honda Accord 2011. So
can't do it. I get it in when it's too hot. I'm not burning my skin. If it's too cold, I'm not freezing my ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool. I need the cloth situation, the new stuff too, not that old, the new cloth. It's like a new cloth they got. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, you got to just feel it. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like just a new cloth. New
cloth feel, man. If it protects you from this dangerous weather, then yeah, go for it, man. Thursday, I've been not stuck in the house, but I've been like in the apartment doing apartment stuff. I may show off the curtains later on. We'll get to that later. But I've been in the apartment in complete solitude for like the last, it was the case for the last few days. And then I was like, I gotta like go out. But at the same time, I was kind of worried, not worried, but I didn't want to be out in the sun. I was like, this is not something that I want to do. I have one air conditioner. I've been just hanging out in that room sort of thing. But I forced myself out Wednesday and Thursday. Shout out to 12 Steps Down, a friend of the show, Brooke Thomason. She had a show out there, and I was like, I'm going to wait until the sun goes down, maybe around 7:30. Even if I'm a little late to the show, I'm not leaving the house until 7:30, and then rolled up there. And it was cool. The sun was cool. It was like in a basement situation. It wasn't too hot, despite the fact that people were there, sort of thing. It was good. So that was got to get some stage time in.
That was my next question.
Yeah, honestly, I would have been fine with not getting on stage because I was just like in a mood that day. But at the same time, I was like, oh, if that happens, then fine. And it ended up happening. Did a little guest spot, and it was cool. I performed in shorts because I didn't know if I was going to be on stage. I should have maybe. That's the one thing when you roll up to a show. It's like, all right, maybe dress like you're going to perform. And I had like my Hawaiian punch shorts on. So that was a new experience for me. But yeah, it was cool that I was able to do that.
I'm not going to lie. I know people talk like a lot of trash about the unwritten rules of comedy, like you can't perform in shorts. I'm not gonna lie, yo. I literally follow that. Like I don't perform in shorts. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I the most I do, like I like wear jeans that they got like some holes in it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
That's
like
like
me
you
being,
showing off comedy cleavage right there.
right. It's like, ooh, look at this thigh. You know what I mean? So it's like, but like shorts, like I'd be like, no, even if if I'm going to a show, I know if I'm going, there's a possibility I'm gonna get on. So if I'm gonna go to a show, I'm not gonna wear shorts. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I don't know why. I still follow that.
I think because comedy is such a loose thing, whenever there is any sort of formality tacked onto it, people kind of abide by it. So I think that's the one, like, okay, well, that's the one rule where like it's not even like hardly pushed on. Like you could still go on with shorts, but people kind of abide by it. Also, just a little bit of professionalism. I would say more than shorts, especially in this weather. If you're wearing shorts, whatever, still don't do it, but whatever. The biggest gripe I have is when people go on stage with flip flops.
You haven't seen that.
Come on.
You haven't seen that.
I have seen that. I've seen. I want maybe 2 weeks ago. I saw someone perform in a nice button-down shirt, full-blown pants, flip flops. I was disgusted.
That's a violation off the stage.
That's
Like,
yeah, it's gross. It was disgusting, man.
you got long jeans on. You're supposed to have the flip. It don't even make sense.
It didn't. I don't know if maybe they have some sort of foot condition where they want to breathe, but I'm like, don't. It was bothersome. I don't like flip flops in general. Everyone knows my stance on flip flops. Shout to flip flop. But it reeked. I don't. I'm going to sound. Maybe I sound a little disgusting myself. It reeked of unprofessionalism. It wasn't even an open mic. It was a show. And I was like, what are you doing? Not to say like, because someone could go up on stage and like murder in flip flops. I've yet to see it though. I've yet to see that happen, whether it be at mic, definitely not at the show. So yeah, if I'd had one judgmental thing, it's the flip flops on stage, man. Get that out of here.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would, if I was in a situation where I had flip flops on, I'm stopping at a Walmart or something. I'm buying some kind of shoe or something real quick. Like I'm not. There's no way I'm going on stage in flip flops, bro. That's wild. Like, did you even have a pedicure? Like, what did it look like? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I tried to look away. It was honestly, it took me out of the set. If I was in that situation, which I wouldn't be because I don't rock flip flops like that. But if I was in that situation, I may just go barefoot, just off principle of like, all right, I'm going on stage. I'm not wearing flip flops on stage. I'm going barefoot. That's acknowledged. I'm doing like a barefoot situation, maybe add it into the comedy a little bit. I mean, that would be uncomfortable too, but definitely not flip flops.
No, man. Like flip flop. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I like flip flops. I got flip flops on right now.
Come on, play.
You know what I'm saying? Between the thong toe situation. But let me tell you something. I ain't gonna lie. I free myself from the shackles of black male masculinity rules. That's what that is.
Really?
I'm telling you, because growing up, people made fun of you if you wore flip flops with your feet out. Like, bro, I can't have my feet out. Like, that's a black American thing, bro. For some reason, like people like in the Caribbean, they got their feet all out. They ain't wearing. It's only us. They be like, oh, flip flops. Oh, thong toe flip. Oh, disgusting. Like, what you mean?
For
Bruce and Pat said Florida too.
They would. For our listeners that are maybe offended by the statements Alan just made, know that the other half of Proper Ebonics is currently wearing Timberlands in his apartment. So there's balance everywhere you go in this life, and not everyone's out here rocking these flip flops, talking about thongs in the feet. What are you talking about, man? Thongs in the feet?
The thong toe. You got the thing go between your toes. Those, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do know what you're saying, huh?
I'm not flexible enough to show you. Let me just take.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do it.
It's the old Navy Jones. These type situations. Perfect for the beach. Perfect.
Maybe it is a masculinity toxic situation because I don't know. I just have an aversion to them. I think my biggest thing was one, how prominent they are in situations where they shouldn't be prominent, like stand-up comedy, where it's like, what are you doing? The noise that they make, which I always just found just like that's so irritating. I think maybe I have perhaps an issue with instance where people are being leisure when I feel that their leisure shouldn't be being had. I mean, where it's like you're wearing flip flops in a Wawa right now. Okay, that's like whatever. And maybe that's something on me and society is imposed on my mind, but I'm not crazy about it. It's a little more forgiving if you're in the apartment or if you're in the Wawa, sure, but on stage, I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, Kirk's the fashion police. Yeah, Kirk. The foot police. Oh god, I think I just have a thing with feet where I have an aversion to it.
Telling you, man, listen, I on stage it's a no-go 100% of the time. Y'all can go back and forth about the shorts all you want. Flip-flops, feet out on stage, like that just gives I don't care. That's what you want to give, whatever you want to do. I ain't wearing them on stage. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Outside on stage, bro, I wear them all the time. It's 100 degrees outside. You think I can put my feet away? No way.
I wear lightweight martial art shoes. That's not even a joke. Sometimes if I'm feeling real free, I'll do it without socks. But that's just sacrifice that I choose to make.
You out here shaming thong toes, but you out here looking like Karate Kid.
Yeah. I'm out here throwing kicks and all that stuff on, shadow kicking. I was at that same show. I was throwing some shadow kicks prior. The one where we saw the dude in flip flops with the button down shirt, which is wild to me. But I did which we talked about before, the Helium's Philly's Funniest. Did that. Shouts to those that were able to make it out, sort of thing like that. It was cool. Your boy had a little bit of a journey. So I think you and I, we talked. Well, the whole thing was like a month prior. I was like, all right, I'm gonna like work on having like this is like a goal of like having a solid 5 minutes, which you already have, sort of thing. But when you're doing shows, you typically do maybe 10, 15, sometimes 20. So like this is like, okay, really compact it down to 5 minutes for a presentation for the purposes of this show. So it was like exciting to be able to do that. Go to the show and I'm feeling it. I was like, all right, I'm feeling good about this. I ran the 5 minutes a mic prior, the night prior. Went up there. I was looking fly. I was wearing the martial arts shoes. Did well. I'm not gonna try to be too cocky or anything like that, but I rocked out. It was good. It was one of those ones where like I felt like it's, you know, when you get off stage and like you know of like, oh, okay, that. I think we talked about because you did Helium recently, of like when you know that they're on board for it, sort of thing. It was like that. A little bit too much like that. Because your boy blew the light. Like there's running the light, and then there's what I did, and it wasn't intentional either. I think I may have just missed the first, like the warning light.
Yeah.
And then with no spoilers of my set, but you may be familiar with one of my closers is a Jamaican man. I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Where it involves me looking down, which maybe not the best, because I dragged that one out. It was a good rendition of it, but I dragged it out a bit. And afterwards, I was like, oh man, I wonder if I ran the light, because I was thinking that just a little bit. And then afterwards, when I watched the tape, I listened to the audio rather, it was like a total of like 5 minutes and 50 seconds. So like, I think like the maximum you're supposed to do is like 5:15. So yeah, I think they shut it off at like 6 minutes. So like I dodged a bullet on that end, but it's two sides of it. It's like, all right, one cool thing to be able to go there, rock out, and have like whatever the staff over there see you do well and all that. But it's also like, oh, the staff sees you perhaps be a little unprofessional and run the light, sort of thing. So that part of it is a bit of a bummer. But overall, beyond that, good experience.
The most important thing, I think, for any comedian is to be funny. You did that. So I wouldn't, so yes, you ran the light. It's not like you were bombing it ran a light. Like
Yeah.
you were doing well and ran a light. That's way different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's the most important part. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say they're like neck and neck. Like, well, I did well, but I ran a light. No, it's more like I did
Right.
well, and you know what I mean. It's kind of like it's a little, you know. But also, I think that also shows you how well you were doing because you were in it so much. You know what I
Uh,
mean? Like if you when you're not doing well, you're like looking around and shit. You're like, give me the light. You know what I'm saying? But like
yeah, that's
when you're in that good mode, you know what I'm saying? It's going good. You're feeling great. It goes longer.
that's a
The
well,
laughs are longer too. You know what I mean?
well, that's a part of it. The thing that's like, and not even saying like I'm harping on it too much, sort of thing. There's two parts of it. One, I found that I was a little disappointed of like running the light and not advancing, which I think in a lot of ways is kind of a good thing, because I feel like I would be lying to myself, be like, oh man, it's just whatever, I didn't advance. Which is in a lot of ways true, but at the same time, it's like, oh no, like I cared about this. This is something that I was working towards. So I like the idea that apathy isn't taking over, sort of thing. It's like it's something I care about, so I'm going to have feelings about it, sort of thing. But secondly, what was the second point? Oh, with the in terms of like, I feel like when you're doing really well, you're hyper aware of things. So that's part that I was surprised by. I was like, oh, like I would think that I would be aware of the light sort of thing, even if I'm doing super well or whatever. It's like, oh, you're aware of what your surroundings and all that. But this one, for whatever reason, just it didn't missed it completely. But either way, good. It was a good turnout. People showed up. It was people were breaking off with daps and all that stuff. It was a good lineup in general too. So yeah, good time.
Were you able to get a tape?
I did. Yeah, shout out to producer Pat. He edited because they sent an audio and video, and the video is really good quality, but the audio for it was kind of low. Producer Pat was able to like sync the crowd audio with the video, so I have that up, and that's going to be what I'll probably be using to submit to things until I get another tape.
Good.
My tight six. That's
I've seen like submissions where it's like send a 5-minute tape. We will not watch anything over 5.
yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's 5. It's done. You'll cut me off in the middle of my closer. Come on, man.
It's essentially pretty much. Yeah. So that was other than that though, it's been pretty low key comedy wise. I have the comedy fest coming up in August, which you're a part of you're like in the first week of it.
Yeah. I don't think I heard nothing in a minute from them though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's up with that.
They're sending out parking passes. I think that's like their next thing.
How do you know that?
Yes, usually they do it around this time.
Oh,
they'll send out they'll mail out the parking pass, and then for those, it's a music fest. They do the Comedy Platz Festival, which has a good turnout. They have a solid turnout every time they do it. So that should be a cool one. I wish I was on the same weekend with you and Shane O'Connor, but I think you guys are going the week before.
Yeah, man. And last time I did this, I remember it was so fun because I had one show at like 7 and another show at 9:30 same night. And I did one show. And like I don't even remember. I think I was saying something like, yo, on my way to the next show. And like this couple were walking by and they heard me say that. They were like, you have another show after that one? I was like, yeah, I'm about to go to there right now. It's like, well, can we ride with you? We want to see you perform again. I'm like, all right. And we just rode over to the other show.
I think I remember that actually. That's funny. Bro, I don't know if you saw this, and it's speaking of Lehigh Valley news, near Bethlehem in Fogelsville. So, did you hear about this? So, there's a man who owned a pet snake. I don't think it was a python. It was like a 14-foot snake though. It was a big one, and I guess for whatever reason, the snake snapped. The snake attacked the man. This is again in Fogelsville, like yesterday. Attacked the man and had like wrapped around his throat, like it's pretty much like the midriff of the snake was around the man's throat. The man had a heart attack, and then the cops had to be called to try to get the snake off. the snake they tried a bunch of attacks. They tried like using like a knife, but the snake wouldn't let out, and then eventually one of the sheriffs had to like shoot the snake in the head for it to release the man. Bro, can you imagine that? Like a large 14-foot snake that's your pet, and this person had like a bunch of different snakes, but 14-foot snake attacks, and then you have a heart attack during it. And the dude was young; he's like 28. And yeah, they had to come in and do that, and now he's, I guess, in stable condition.
Whoa. Who called the cops? Him?
That's as I was saying, and I was like, who did call the cops? I imagine he did, but I don't know. I don't remember that part of the story on who called the cops. But the cops had to show up, and they did like the whole press afterwards, talking about the safety of reptiles and such.
This snake is a gangster. Let me tell you about this snake. You know how Suge Knight will hold people over the banister just to scare him a little bit.
Right.
That's what this snake was doing. The snake wasn't trying to kill his man. She wanted to let him know who you messing with. This is who's running this house, okay? I can do this whenever I want. You feed me whenever I need to be fed, okay?
Oh, goodness.
What do you mean? Someone called the cops. The cops got there, tried multiple tactics. That snake, when they killed, he would have been snapped his neck.
Yeah, that's Snake Night. I don't necessarily know who would have called it, and the tactics that they used, I think it was mainly a knife, and because they're running short on time because they knew that he was under cardiac arrest. So I think that was the major part of it, where it wasn't like I don't know the mechanics of large snakes like that at least, but I imagine it was maybe trying to eat the person. Like that's the thing. Sometimes snakes, they'll intentionally not eat for a while because they want to save up space for whatever the big prey they're going to get. It's wild.
The snake was about to eat this dude.
I don't know if the snake was like holding off on meals and all that stuff, but that's a possibility. Or it could have been something that was irritated. A lot of things of like if a snake is their skin is shedding, like you'll see like sometimes their eyes get kind of blue. You're not really supposed to be touching them or you're not really supposed to touch them like while they've been feeding. So who knows? There could have been different circumstances, and also they're snakes. Like that's the thing. They're when you're a large snake like that, I feel there's different ways of handling them from what I've seen. It's a little bit more of a risk because they're predators and they're indoors. So when I saw I was in Fogelsville too, I was like, oh snap, that's like right around the corner.
Snakes going to snake. You know what I'm saying? They gonna do what they was born to do. But y'all keep messing with these animals. I'm telling you, like it's best to these dogs and cats. Birds and fish.
Birds and fish. Get some caterpillars on it. Yo, get some butterflies. Cats are kind of wild too. Cats, like, they will, like, if you say, like, if one of the owners like passed away or whatever, and it's just you and the cat will eventually eat you. Like, it's not like the cat's gonna like do a thing where it's like trying to call the cops. Like, the cat will start like nibbling on your toes. Ugh, it's a gross statement to even say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you already know me, man. I'm on my like corn snake venture, which is like, I feel like you could have same species, different types of breeds. Like there's a difference between like a 14-foot snake versus like a docile corn snake. Like a corn snake, even if it does bite you, which they don't really do that much, but even if it does, it's like if a cat bites you, like cat's not really going to bite you that much depending on the cat. But if it does, it's not going to be like this dire situation.
So you okay with that? You just okay with just getting bitten all the time? Even though it don't hurt that much?
I mean, I wouldn't want to. Just like if I had a cat, I wouldn't want to be bitten the whole time. But like if I love the cat, I may tolerate it. Damn, that's like groundworks for a little toxic pet relationship. I realized as I was saying that, but yeah, it's nuts.
I seen a video of a cat online yesterday. A dude was sleeping on the couch. The cat got up on 2 feet and just started scratching him up like.
Oh God.
Started tearing him up. I mean, why is this cat so mean? What did he do to you? He was trying to take a
nap. We don't know what was off camera. We don't know what that human was doing to that cat. Was talking crazy before the nap, like saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna mess you up once I get out of this nap real quick." I don't know if the person was saying that or not, but I don't trust these videos, these anti-cat videos. That's what that was. Spreading
Dude,
propaganda.
dude probably was just trying to rest because he probably just got COVID again. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man.
Just trying to take it easy. You know, everybody getting COVID. Your boy Joe Biden got it.
Well, yeah, my boy. That's your boy. It's our boy, our friend of the show, Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, has tested positive for COVID. And the first thing I thought when I heard this was like, yeah, I feel like there's other stuff going on. Like, I feel like in terms of like Joe Biden, I feel like COVID's not the biggest concern, sort of thing. And that's not me trying to knock like older person's health or whatever like that. But it seems like there may be a little bit of some cognitive stuff. But I imagine COVID doesn't help with that.
Are you health shaming, Kirk?
That Alan, I am a healthcare worker. I would never health shame. Chris Pat, you already know what to do with that. No, not health shaming anyway. I don't know how he got it. He went on our bike ride situation. I don't know what he was doing, but yeah, that's the news. And it's one of those things now we see, whether it be from different variations of the virus, where it's not like this huge alarm. Like, do you remember like when Trump got it? It was like this huge thing. I remember like friends texting me in the morning, like, huh. Like, because it was like whenever anytime someone was like diagnosed with like COVID, it was this big thing. Whereas now it's like, oh, this is something that someone has. It's not necessarily like a cold, but it's out there, and it's not the worst situation, for lack of better words.
No, like nowadays when somebody gets COVID, you just ask one question. You be like, "Are you vaxxed? All right, you're fine." Like,
Yeah.
like you boosted. All right, man, you be all right. Drink some water.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's sometimes you lose sight. That's like, oh yeah, that's still out there.
Yeah,
That's still like, yeah. Even when I was at the thing on Thursday, I was like, oh, we're down there. There's like a lot of people in here, and it didn't occur to me until midway through, like, oh yeah, like this is still a thing that's kind of going around. Um, so I keep take your vitamins, I guess. I don't know.
they were saying that if Joe don't make it, Kamala finally gonna have to do something.
Oh goodness, yeah.
That's what they were saying. I ain't say it.
Do you think she's gonna run?
I mean, I'm talking about like if Joe don't make it through this.
No, I know what you mean on that, but I'm saying though in general though, like that's like 2 years from now, where re-election time is going to come around. Do we think we're gonna be seeing a little bit more from VP Kamala Harris?
I think I heard they said that Joe gonna run again.
Or
I think that's what I heard. Joe gonna be 90 in the White House.
I don't know, man. I mean, I say it like I know this dude's health and cognitive health and all that stuff. I don't. I see it just from like some of the speeches and just from the groundworks of like kind of an older person, who's the last like 20 years has been like not just in government but like heavy in the government, where like I imagine there's a lot that comes with that, and that could be kind of taxing. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see, like, is he voiced that he wants to run again?
I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, man. Like within the last week, they're like Joe gonna run again. Like, why wouldn't he? He's the president.
Yeah,
He not gonna be like oh guys, I'm like he may not do it. But what they won't do is they won't say it. Like, oh, Joe's too sick to run again. Like,
right.
You don't want to put your president out there like that. So he just, yeah, he gonna run again. Yeah, he good.
Yeah, what if they do a switcheroo where it's like, actually, I don't even know if they can do this by law, but like Kamala runs and then Joe takes VP position.
I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know the laws behind it, but that feels like something that's probably not possible. I don't even know who would, like, on the Democratic side, who would run, like, if it isn't Joe.
I don't know.
Someone was saying
I only worry about politics when it's time to vote.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
The only people I could think of. That's the thing. I mean, I don't know a lot about politics in that way either, but I could think of like Cory Booker and AOC. Andrew Yang, producer Pat suggests that's true. He's. I think his thing is that he's not really subscribing to the Democratic Party. He's starting his own party. I think that's his thing. Which cool. If a third party takes off, then we'll see what kind of things it could bring. We just haven't really seen it in full force yet.
Did you see that Andrew Yang? Andrew Yang.
I was like, who that?
I know a nigga named Andrew Lang. Shout out to Andrew Lang. What's up, bro? Went to high school with him. But Andrew Yang opened up, introduced Shane Gillis at his show the other night.
That's funny. I saw the interview that they did. Yeah. So that's cool because it was like when that whole SNL thing happened, they had like a little interaction, and then recently they had like a sit down interview, and it was interesting to actually watch. But I didn't know this though. So Andrew Yang came out and introduced Shane.
He did like 2 minutes. It was funny. It was funny.
I would love to see that. I'm picturing the green room, Andrew Yang, Shane, and Lemire Lee. I'm just picturing Lemire Lee and Andrew Yang.
I'm gonna send it to you. I seen it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It was on Twitter.
See that.
Yeah,
man, that's bonkers. Yeah, shout out to Shane, man. He's killing it out there.
It was somewhere in like, I think it was San Francisco. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. It was. I was looking at it, and it was funny because Andrew Yang cracking some jokes like somebody was. I don't know if somebody was helping him write it or he did it, but like, it was funny.
Damn, you got Nate Marshall being your ghostwriter before you got on stage. Nuts.
That is hilarious. All right, so Kirk, Pat, did you see it? Because I'm gonna just send it to the group.
Yeah, send it over there, man. I put something on our page. Speaking of goals, which we could get to in a second. One, a goal has been met. I want to say probably 2 or 3 episodes ago, I was stating that Crime and Punishment, I wanted to write a book report for it, wrote the book report for it, and put it on the PE page. Nice. Got no love, which is which I expect. I was like, all right, well, it's Instagram. I don't think people are really looking for book reports on Russian literature on Instagram. But the principle was that we're here to meet a goal, and the goal was met. Posted. I put it on my Facebook too, but it was nice. It was cool to finally be able to be like, oh yeah, have this out there, and this is because I'm going to forget things from the book, so it's nice to just have kind of these are my thoughts from the book that was recently in my mind, and now it's there. And for those that are interested, feel free to check it out.
Nice, man. You accomplished the goal. That feels good. You said it.
Yes.
You said it. You finished it.
I did.
Be honest with you as well. I had no idea it was a book report. I seen you posted it. I was like, oh, Kirk's posting that he read a book. Nice. I had no idea.
That's probably what most people saw, but they didn't know it was me or you. So it was like, oh yeah, Kirk and Alan like read a book together. Here's an image that they did. I guess it's a promo for a new episode. This is a different approach.
I'm gonna go back and read it.
Well, let me know what you think if you do it sort of thing. Do you want to get into one of the segments? You want to get into some proper suggestions?
Yeah, we can do proper suggestions. Yeah.
Proper suggestions.
I checked it out last night. I'm pretty sure I'm a little late on it. I mean, I've been busy. I told you I was at the beach with the seagulls.
Oh goodness!
Woo, child! I'm telling you, man. I said I stay away from 2 gangs. I stay away from the cops, and I stay away from seagulls. Those the gang. I don't want no beef.
Gang, they wild out.
I want no beef, bro. I seen seagulls knock a bucket of fries out of somebody's hand, bro. Like they just swarmed me. It's like, yeah, we want that. Give me that.
It's disrespectful.
Ate the fries before they hit the floor. It was crazy. But yeah, so I suggest. So last night I watched Bill Burr's new special on Netflix.
Yeah,
Live at the Red Rocks. It was so cool, man. Like the venue was insane. Like it was like outdoors in like Denver, I think, and outside, like in the mountains. Like it was crazy. And
it was like an outdoor venue.
It's an outdoor venue.
I feel like I know what venue that is.
Bill Burr. It was good I think this one for me. He was a lot more personal about his like private life. You know what I mean? Like he's talked about his kids a lot.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying, like
I didn't know he had kids. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, me neither. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? So he talked about his kids a lot and stuff. And it was good to hear him, talk about that kind of stuff. And he Bill Burr gonna Bill Burr. You know what I'm saying? It was like, he do what he do. Like,
Yeah.
and he did it for an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, like,
how do you feel about that? Because I know typically the standard is like an hour. How do you feel about it going over an hour?
For Bill Burr, it's fine because he's done it. He's done.
Right.
It's not like he's just this new guy. Well, whoever wants to do an hour and 20, do whatever you want to do. But I feel like Bill Burr can do whatever he wants because he's done it all already. Like, he did it his hours. He's done that. I mean, like he can do whatever he wants. He got a lot to say. It's been a crazy year. Like, talk about it. Let's go. So
nice.
I suggest that people check it out. It's on Netflix. So it was cool, man. It was dope to see. I don't watch a lot of them. I don't watch a lot of these specials. I don't watch a lot of stand up on TV and all that. I'll check out the goats. You know what I'm saying? I check out Bill Burr.
All right. Yeah, I'll check it out. Today is a lack of plans. I'm going to rephrase it as a Kirk day. So I may check out some Bill Burr. The plan is to work on the apartment some more. So you boys going to go to Boscos real quick and pick up some curtains. Speaking of which, my prop suggestions for this one is a lot of times you may be in a situation where you're a healthcare worker, you may have just gotten a promotion or whatever, and your roommate may have moved out, and you want to put up some curtains and all that, but you don't really have the tools to do it. Your friend lets you borrow a drill, and you're like, oh man, I never really used a drill before. And you start using the drill. Turns out you really like using the drill. My prop suggestion, though, is when you're using a drill, don't go too crazy with drilling everything in sight. I feel like a lot of times when you have the power of a drill, they say this with guns a lot, where like if you shoot a gun, you'll feel the power of it. I've never had that be the case. I shot one gun and I was like, my fingers hurt. However, when I was using the drill, I was like, this is wavy. This is so, bro, actually, I drilled that situation. Both of those, technically 4 holes. And it's been holding up pretty well. We got the Eclipse blackout curtain. I'm not going to talk about that yet. But yeah, man. So I've been a little tempted at times of like, oh man, what else could I drill? Like I saw like a beer can with beer in it. I was like, it'd be kind of cool to drill this. There was a broom on the balcony. And I was like, kind of cool to drill this broom. But you have to refrain, man. You got to remember that these tools are very powerful. Also, in this case, they're your friends, so you don't want to ruin the tool for your friend because that's just kind of an inconsiderate thing to do. So practice some discipline when you have a drill and just keep it down to the walls. Keep it to the walls.
That's a good suggestion, but I'm just picturing you over there drilling everything. Oh wait, a cat.
Oh goodness, that's no man. Like it was like you'll see like a large book or whatever. It's like, oh my god, this thing is so powerful. You can just really go through anything. It's like, can I use a hole through my table? Like, can I justify drilling whatever I'm about to drill? It's like, I never drilled a beer glass before. Like if I use like a smaller bit, it's tempting. And I think in the right tools, it's cool to explore it. I just don't have those sort of tools right now. So my prop suggestion is tool safety.
You're drilling beer bottles? Is that what you said, or beer cans?
Both. So I was saying I saw a beer can and I was like, this is like a full beer can. It'd be kind of cool to drill that and see what happens. I didn't. And then there's a beer glass. And I was like, it'd be kind of interesting to like say if you want to like put lights in it, sort of thing like that. I'm not going to do that. And there's no justifying it for me. So I did not. And yes, Pat says, be careful. I didn't have goggles. So yes, did not do that. My prop suggestion is not give in to the temptations of drilling a pillow. You got to make sure to just drill things that are appropriate and make sure that everything's lined up.
Right. Pat said, keep Kirk from the table saws. There we go.
Don't get me going, bro. Next to Boscos is a Home Depot, so we'll leave it at that.
I'm not gonna lie though, if you're drilling a beer can, it's probably a good way if you want to do it. Shotgun the beer can.
I did think of that. I was just like, I could only imagine like you're excited about like getting the perfect shotgun, but then not realizing that the drill's not turned off, so you just have like this and this going at the same time. Yeah, they're powerful. Those drills, man, they're bonkers.
Hey, I feel like we're giving bad imagery for the children right now, cutting off limbs and stabbing, drilling yourself.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about drilling the cat. That was on you, player. That was on you. I just talked about the python and the in Fogelsville going wild, but
Speaking of affecting the kids, man,
Oh, I definitely want to talk about this one.
see what's going on at Sesame Place, man. You hear
Yeah,
me?
man. You know what? I forgot Sesame Place is in Pennsylvania. It's in Berks County.
Yeah, man. It's a Langhorne.
This whole time I thought it was like in Queens. I don't know why I thought that. it's like right up the street. Crazy.
It's right there. Yeah.
Before we get into this story, have you been to Sesame Place?
Yo, man. So look, I used to go to Sesame Place as a kid. I've taken my kids to Sesame Place. When I was selling produce, I used to try to sell. I used to go in to have meetings with Sesame Place to sell them produce and stuff. And I work for that company. You know, like I'm very familiar with Sesame Place. Been there a million times.
I imagine you trying to sell lettuce to Elmo sort of thing. Like that's a very like their CEOs are dressed up as characters. That's what I picture, but I don't know. Well, hopefully they treat you well because based off the recent controversy that we're seeing at Sesame Place, there's a video circulating of one of the Sesame Street characters. I think it's Rosito. I think this is it's a newer one. It's like a large blue character.
I'm not sure which character it is.
It's not Cookie Monster because Cookie Monster would not do this. But Rosito, maybe. I guess they're doing like a parade situation. They're like breaking people off with high fives. The kids are out there, and the footage is of two little black girls. They're waving. One has her hand out, sort of thing, like her palms out, like looking for like an embrace of such. And based on what we see in the video, at least, and it's only like 15 seconds, Rosito is like breaking people off with daps. And then when they get to the two little girls, Rosito does one of these where it's like, and like does like a thing where it's like, I'm not touching a girl sort of thing. And then they go see them go back to like holding a baby. So there's Sesame Place has made like two different statements about it because the video, I believe recorded by the mother, it was stating that there was a whether it be like racism or some sort of prejudice as to why the two girls were ignored when all the other children were acknowledged. Sesame Place, they stated that a lot of it had to do with they have a policy against holding children, and I guess the one child had her palms out to be held, so the Rosita was saying no to that. Yeah. But if I actually watched the footage before this, the one kid wasn't doing that. The one kid was just going for a high five. It's hard to really pull anything out of this because it's only a 15-second clip, and there's a bunch of different reasons why X and Z could have happened. But I was curious on your take.
I was curious on your take.
Well, my take is that like I can't say necessarily that like because it's just one incident that I've seen and heard of so far. I don't know if there's more of them, but from just this one incident that we're seeing circulate in news stories about, it's hard to be like, oh yeah, this is definitely like a racism thing. I think the character, whoever was playing the Rosita person, definitely could have acknowledged the girls a little bit better because it seemed intentional. Like it was like looked at them, was like, and it kept going. And that just seemed like kind of a garbage thing to do at a theme park for children. In terms of like the race part of it, I don't know what the race of other children were. I don't know what race the Rosito is. I don't know if blue's a race. So I don't know if I could really hop on that based off a 15-second clip.
You need to know the race of the person playing Rosito. That's very, very important. Why hasn't that came out yet?
That I think they're protecting the privacy of the person because if that person is exposed, then it's going to lead to a bunch of doxing.
No, look, no. If that person is exposed, if that person was black, we wouldn't know that. No.
What if it was an Uncle Ruckus situation though? I feel like it could still and not say that this is the case or not again because it's a 15-second clip, but it could have been a black on black situation as well. No joke. That's a thing too.
It could just be a black Rosito just mad when they see black kids because they didn't get to go to Sesame Place when they were a kid.
Bro, that's a real thing. But regardless of regardless of the race sort of thing, I think it was a garbage move. Like because I actually saw the clip before because I heard about the story a bunch and I watched it. It was like it was very intentional, and I could see like if you're a kid, especially at Sesame Place, and also like the admission fees you're probably paying to get in Sesame Place, it's like you really kind of ostracize the children at that point, of like waving it off, and not acknowledging them in any way, and acknowledge everyone else. That sort of things leaves an imprint on your life, man. Like, not even sound dramatic, but those sort of things, granted, it probably doesn't help if it's being blown up like this too. I mean, I don't know psychology of that, but those sort of things where it's like, I don't know if you've been in that, where it's like everyone's being acknowledged and then you're the one that's being rejected. That leaves an imprint, especially if it's coming from this large blue creature. I imagine that amplifies it a little bit, somewhat. So I feel bad for the children when I see that.
Yeah, that kind of stuff sticks with kids. Period. Like, it blowing up on social media, I don't think that matters to them. I don't feel like they out here all scrolling on Twitter and stuff. But yeah, I think that they remember something like that. Like, man, remember we went to Sesame Place and Rosito just left us hanging? Like, they might not even initially think that, like, yo, this is racist or nothing. Like, they might just be, to them, they just be like, man, they left me hanging that day. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like, oh, me. Like, it's not even like a social thing. It's like, oh, I'm not acknowledged. I'm not seen.
Yeah, I don't. They might have been like, oh, the other kids got it, but I didn't get it. But I don't feel like a kid is just like, oh, what race is Rosito? I mean,
Bro, you might have more knowledge of this. I don't even know what kids are up to. I don't know if that's like in the collective conscious of children, or is if racism is like a big thing that's that people are like aware of when you're young. I don't know. I know I wasn't as much. I'd say I was aware of racism probably around middle school. Middle school is probably when I realized, like, oh yeah, there's certain things that happen based off of people's race.
Yeah, I my whole life before middle school was just black. You know what I mean? Like, I went, like, my elementary school, we never had it was all black people. We might have had an Asian person once, and then they left quickly, but it was just like all black. You know what I mean? So it was like, but once I had moved and I seen start being around by white people, like instantly I realized, like, oh, this is different. Like, this ain't like they it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, it's hard to explain. Like, when you just come from like everybody around you just black to like white teachers now, you got like white students. It's just kind of like, what?
No, that's
you know,
we had similar paths on that, where like for me it wasn't just all black, it was black and Hispanic, and then moved to Collegeville, and that's where it was like, oh wow, I am, like, I always kind of felt like an outsider, even Bronx, but like even more so, but on the opposite end of it, of like people asking you things and just how they would talk to you, or it was just very much, you felt like the other. And not even always in the worst case where like you feel like they're being like mean to you. It's just, it's clear that there was like, oh, you guys can all relate to each other from being in this area and kind of growing up the same way, and I'm an outsider. I think that was probably my introduction to like just differences. But I would say, like, in terms of like racism, like on a more overt level, that was probably around middle school.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that's when it starts to happen. Yeah, and I feel like you're more aware of things too. Like, when you're, so like these Sesame Street, these little girls, I don't think they're of the conscious. Like, they were young. You know what I mean? Like I know, like, my kids are like 10 and 14, so like they get it. You know what I mean? Like, I talk about it, they understand. You know, but like these kids were like the one girl, like, she was like 4. You know what I mean? Like 5 or something. I don't know. Like, they look young, you know. So I don't know how much they really understand what we talking about. But I think to them, it's just like, that was me. You know.
Well, maybe we have to get them on the podcast. We gotta like, hey, what's your take on this? When Rosito did not lift you up and embrace you, did you feel that racism was invoked? Would be interesting if one day we'll get a child guest on here. We have a bunch of questions for like the children. Like, I know you have children, but we have questions for young children. Sometimes I'm curious.
It's funny you're just saying this, like, but like these people probably have been reached out to 100 times about interviews for real.
I know, right? At this point, there was like a press conference like attached to one of the videos that were talking about it, and it was just like the little girl. I think she was wearing a mask for like just kind of protecting their face, which, yeah, that's like good sort of thing like that. In terms of like, I feel like spotlight is a weird thing when you're like a little kid. See, yeah, there's I imagine there's a lot of people reaching out. It must be weird being like a teacher. So say like if one of your students is in like a viral situation or like some sort of major news story or is like Macaulay Culkin or whatever, you probably have some questions, but you don't want to like, and you have like close contact with one of the children too, but it's like you don't want to kind of cross that line of make them feel like an outsider sort of thing like that. But you also have access to be like, oh, I'm genuinely curious. How do you feel about that? I don't know what the teacher's up to.
I don't know. I feel like a teacher should stay professional, but try to like, I don't know if you want to, I don't know, it's a thin line. I don't know. Like, do you ask them because they're your student and you want them to be the best person they can be, and you try to, make sure they're okay. But then it's kind of like, should you cross that personal line and like?
There's a mixture. I feel like if you're like you could cross no, because it's not even crossing the line. But if you're like, oh, I want to encourage you to express yourself, and I'm here for you, sort of thing, then yeah, you could talk about it. But if it's like, hey, I want to hear you express yourself on my podcast, like that's one. If like the teacher's doing stuff like that, where it's like recording the kid as they're answering the question, which I'm sure there's some teachers out there to do wild stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's totally fine for a teacher to kind of just be there for a student in need.
I think it's funny that like 2022 we're talking about like, is it okay if a teacher asks a student if they're okay? But like 50 years ago, teachers was like beating up kids for punishment. Like, sit down, do your math.
Mr. Rosito, no. That's a lot of those. That's wild, man. Yeah, that's on my end, man. My day is about to start. I'm about to, I guess, endure this heat again. I left my windows open. Hopefully it's not too bad, but gonna go to Boscov's. May step into the library for a little bit, check out this USB drive to see if it still works. That's a whole project. And then yeah, after that, who knows? Maybe I'll just watch Bill Burr special. I have no plan lined up for today.
Yeah, man. Check it out. It'd be a good time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm about to be in these streets. I mean, I'm probably a little bit. I gotta get something to eat.
Oh yeah.
Be out here in these streets, man.
Yeah, shout out to Wawa. They endorsed my breakfast earlier and my coffee. Yeah, man. Do you have anywhere that you want to let people know about?
August 4th, it's the Mass Hysterical Show. Every first Thursday. Satellite Art Club, Brooklyn.
Nice.
Same block that Biggie grew up at. You know what I mean? So, dude, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Good vibes. So yeah, I'm a plug. Yeah, I want to get that going. I like my little room, man. It's a cool little spot. So,
and Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Brooklyn, nice. Yeah, that's definitely check that out. If you're in the area or not in the area, if you like drives, it's just like a good show. I'm talking to you, Brian. Go check it out. And on my end, only thing I could think of, Music Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got yours on 4th.
I'm 5th and 6th. I'm at the Music Fest 5th and 6th, and then you're what, 12th and 13th?
Yeah, 12th and 13th. And that the night of the 12th, I'm also doing the Tinder Swipe show at the Steel Stacks. So like they're doing Ice House for the Comedy Festival, and Steel Stacks are having other shows too. So if you're around 11 o'clock at night on Friday, Tinder Swipe, I'll be one of the either judges or panelists. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'll be there though. So yeah, definitely go check that out. Should be a fun show.
Yeah, it's lit. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, man. Nice chatting with you. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, take your vitamins, and be careful with that trail. See ya.
Peace.